What is going on, beautiful people? My name is BetSam. This is going to be the underdog opportunity. And for UFC Baku, we're doing things a little bit different. There wasn't one singular underdog that stood out to me as being, this underdog that I was really going to take and give to the people. So instead, I brought you three. And, we're going to start off kicking things off for Pride Month with this photo of Bogdenrad looking as vascular as possible here. Bogdenrad, he's taking on Muhammad Nimoff. And if you haven't seen Muhammad Nimoff, he is a former multiple-time Slam of the Week winner inside of, the BetSam community. And as well as that, we picked him one time as an underdog opportunity as well, and he got it done there as well. So a lot of respect on the Muhammad Nimoff side, but I must say that I do think that when I see Bogdenrad, he's got that tenacity and that dog in him, like Andreas Gustafsson. I just picked Andreas Gustafsson to go out there and defeat Chaos Williams as an underdog, and Bogdenrad has a little bit of that something, that reminiscent energy of just come forward and make it gritty and make it nasty. The reason why I did steer away from him as being, the sole underdog opportunity, the one that I would give to the people, is because ultimately when I was going back and watching the tape study, Bogdenrad's defense, especially due straight down the middle strikes, punches and kicks, is a little bit lackluster. He kind of moves his hands around a little bit wide and, takes some hits without having very good head movement. And Muhammad Nimoff is a straight shooter. He throws hard and he throws down the middle. So that's kind of what steered me away from there. But make no mistake, if you're looking for an underdog that is going to fight for your money, that will dog it out, Bogdenrad should be at the top of the list there. For our second underdog opportunity that I'm bringing to the people, it's going to be Sakyongco. And Sakyongco here at almost 5-1 money. He is taking on Elliott, and I do agree that Elliott should be the rightful favorite. We've seen him beat, more UFC fighters. We've seen him utilize wrestling and striking. But Sakyongco is definitely a good athlete, and he has good awareness, and he's kind of like a knockoff Jean Silva. If you watch his style, the way that he will walk through damage, take one to give one style. And, he has power as well. So he's a little bit slower than Elliott. But, if he lands on Elliott, we've seen Elliott in trouble before. We've seen him wobbled. We've seen him finished, to knockout. So Sakyongco here could be live as an underdog. Not high confidence. Obviously, I actually do have a play on Elliott. But if you're looking for a dog and you're struggling. But the third and final underdog that I'm actually going to bring to you guys, and this is one that I wrestled with for a long time, but believe me, I've gone into the tape. I've done the deep dive. I've actually watched every single one of his and his opponent's fights this week. So, I've literally gone in and done the tape study. So we're going to bust into it. It is going to be in the main event, Jamahal Sweet Dreams Hill to defeat Khalil Rountree Jr. Ultimately, this came down to the fact that Khalil Rountree Jr. has had grappling holds in the past that have been exploited. He's also had pressure issues when people come forward on him, and he's also had length issues with people that are 6'4". Even Anthony Smith, when you go back and you watch that fight, it's not as clean of a performance as you think. Anthony Smith landed multiple big right hands and big left hands in that fight, and some stepping elbows. So Jamahal Hill here, former world champion. I believe that he can be, the better mixed martial artist in here. If I was Jamahal Hill's team, which I'm not, I have no professional fighting experience whatsoever, but I would say test that fucking wrestling. Because if you go back and you watch Tyson Pedro taking on Khalil Rountree, you will see that, when he gets down to the mat, he's not exactly an elite level grappler. And Jamahal Hill has definitely, spent some time on the mat over the years. You always see him in the training room, in his rash guard. He gets some good bodies in there, and he's done some good work in the jiu-jitsu training room. He doesn't always showcase it in his fights, but that's because he usually gets it done with the hands. In the boxing, I do favor Jamahal Hill, and I also think that if he utilizes the strategy he did against Glover Teixeira, where he's active with the high kick, that will occupy the hands of Khalil Rountree Jr., which will then open up the rest of his striking tactics. I'm going to say Jamahal Hill goes out here and wins this fight by round 2 or 3 stoppage, but honestly, he has the power to shut off anyone's lights, so it could be done in one. Jamahal Hill is going to be my favorite of the underdog opportunities. If you want to see which underdog I went with and play some action on, sign up to We Want Picks Premium, wewantpicks.com/betsam. The link is in the description of this video, guys. Make sure you click the link in the description of this video. It'll send you straight there, and then punch in code BETSAM for 10% off of all your memberships. Thank you for watching. Let's make some fucking money this weekend.